Hi. Well, it's another beautiful day out here in the world. And today I want to talk about all sorts of things. First thing is about other people. Now, when we go out in the world, or really when we do anything, we analyze. That's like the number one thing. Our brains start analyzing stuff. Okay? And one of the things we analyze is the way people look. And we judge based on that. I know it's a terrible thing, isn't it? I mean, let's say that you're fat, or maybe you're short, or whatever it is that you are. And people are judging you based on that, which really is sad because you should be judged on your soul. Okay? But unfortunately, that's the way the world works. Now, when we analyze things, and we analyze all sorts of things, we try to figure out what it is, what that's going on. Okay? And when you look at somebody and they're fat, or they have their belly hanging out, or they're not dressed very well, or there's a whole sorts of different things you can think about somebody, but generally speaking, okay, then we judge them. And the way we judge them is we say, he's lazy, or she's lazy, okay? She's fat, so therefore she doesn't do any exercise or whatever, and she eats too much, which is kind of a lazy behavior, okay? Which, in fact, it's not really lazy at all. So that's what we do. I mean, it's a sad situation, but it's just the way it is. And what we, as awakened people who are on the path of spirituality, need to do is to awaken to the fact that people, okay, are really souls, okay? And therefore they needn't be judged. They needn't be pigeonholed, which is what we try to do. We want to pigeonhole everybody, okay? Because when you can pigeonhole somebody, then there's nothing to fear, okay? And unfortunately, this leads to suffering, just like everything else. And your life, okay, which is really a combination of all the things you've experienced and what you think might be in the future, which undoubtedly you're going to be wrong about that, is the sum of all your judgments. Okay? So, I know this is kind of a hard concept to get around, but let's just say that if you judge other people, which we know you do, because everybody does, and if you judge them to be less than you, okay, then you're going to suffer. Why is this? Because you're downgrading them, okay? You're putting them in a box if you can. That's what a pigeonhole is, it's a box. And that's not good for you and it's not good for them. Because even though they may not know that you think that, okay, which they probably don't know it, they're still affected by it because everything is connected. Okay, everything's connected. There's no way of getting away from that connection. Okay, and if you look at somebody as a piece of shit, fat, homeless, whatever the heck you want to call it, cracker, white trash, then that's going to be bad for your spiritual development because nobody is that. Because everybody on Earth and in the universe is a soul. Aliens, they have a soul too. They are a soul. So there's no such thing as aliens because everything comes from God. Now I know that it's kind of hard to realize how you're looking at people, but you are looking at people in a way that hurts them. Not because you're saying anything to them or trying to hurt their feelings, it just comes out. Okay? It just comes out. That's what it does. Okay? Whatever you're thinking and feeling and experiencing is going to come out. And so, what can we do about this? Well, number one, we can try and look at people based on their spiritual quotient, okay? Which is their soul. Okay, no matter what condition they're in or whatever clothes they're wearing or anything else, they are a soul. Whatever else they have or look like, or whatever, it's just a matter of circumstance, okay? No one person is better than any other person. Just because somebody has money and the right clothes and the right car and so on, it doesn't make them any better than a homeless guy sitting there reading a newspaper. Okay? Because there's both souls. It's equality. That's what we're trying to reach here. The equality of souls. You cannot say, I know that it's part of our nature to compare ourselves to other people. That's what is in our nature, you know? And when you do that, you want to make yourself come out looking good, right? I mean, that's what you want to do. And so that means the other person has to come out looking bad, or at least worse than you are, okay? And it becomes a vicious circle because that causes suffering. Whether they even know that you're looking at them in a way that makes them look bad or that you're feeling that way, it's going to come out. Okay, it's called empathy. And there's more than one type of empathy, okay? And that's really what, people feel when they feel something from another person. They're feeling the empathy, okay? And if that empathy is, you're a piece of shit, I know it's not what we think empathy is, but if that's what's going on in your mind, then you're going to project that, and they're going to feel that through empathy. Okay? So, just try and look at everyone, and remember, when you're looking at them, the first thing you're going to do, the very first thing you're going to do when you see a new person, okay, or someone you've known before, is you're going to start judging them based on everything, okay? And we have to get out of this habit of judging other people because basically it's bad for us, okay? And it stifles the spiritual journey that we're on. So when you see somebody for the first time or whatever, okay, try and see the soul they are. They are not a person. They are not a bum. They are not a doctor. They are not a janitor. They are not a movie star. They're a soul. That is who they are. That is their identity. They may think they have some other identity, but that's not what it is. Okay? They're deluded. I guess that's that bad word. They're dreaming. That's what's going on. So they don't know that they're a soul, but you do. And if you go into Walmart or a public park somewhere, you're going to see all kinds of people. And without even knowing it, you're going to start judging them. It happens automatically. It's a terrible thing, isn't it? And that judgment is always bad for them because it's good for you, right? I mean, that's the whole point of judging. Okay? Our ego is trying to make itself feel bigger. And how it can do that, one of the ways it does that is by making other people look smaller. Maybe you don't believe in the ego. Maybe you think it's all bullshit. Okay? And maybe it is. I mean, the people who came up with the idea of the ego, okay, were psychologists, psychiatrists. Okay? Because they didn't know what it was, and so they put this name on it. Okay? But they knew there was something. Something was in control, and they knew it was there, and so they named it the ego. I call it the false identity. It doesn't matter what we call it. What matters is that it is going to keep judging other people based on shit that just doesn't matter. Anyway, it's beginning to rain. But I don't care because I'm doing my job, which is telling you guys what I think is important. Okay? So, when you see somebody, try to see the soul that they are shining through them. And if you just stop thinking for a minute, okay, and really look at someone, you will see that soul. Maybe you're not all the way through the spiritual path. I'm not all the way through the spiritual path, okay? But if you are a little bit way through the spiritual path and you have a little more awareness of everything, then you will see the soul shining through them. The soul is like a shining beacon within them. And it's possible to see it. And if you just concentrate on not thinking and you concentrate on the person, okay? I'm not blaming anybody for this. This is just part of being human. That's what we do, you know? We look at people and we judge them. I mean, even something as little as the way their foot looks, okay? Or the way their hands look, or the way any part of their body looks. I mean, which is so ridiculous because we're not our bodies, okay? Anyway, so when you see somebody that you don't know, or even that you do know, okay, try to see who they really are. Try to look at them as if they are a soul, because that's what they are. Okay? And if you do that, you'll see the soul shining through them. You'll see the good qualities that they have, and you won't put them in a box. That's it. You don't want to put people in boxes, okay? I use the word box a lot. What I mean is mental cages, okay? You know? That's what we do. We put them in mental pigeonholes. Okay, because we do that because we're afraid. That's what it is. We're afraid of the unknown. You fear at what you don't know. Okay, and that's why people hate other people, because they don't know them. Okay, if you think of a I don't know, 18th century man, okay, traveling to Africa, okay. And looking at the black people there and judging them and then saying, these people would be good workers on my plantation back home. Okay, I mean, that's what happens, okay? And we turn people into what we want them to be, which in some cases might be a slave. And believe me, there's still slavery going on, even though we don't really admit to it, but it's still happening, okay? And I'm not saying that anybody turns anybody into a slave here, but the point is, you turn people into things that they just aren't. And that is just really bad for your spiritual journey. Your spiritual journey is about freeing yourself and others, okay? You can't free somebody that you've just put into a box. It can't be done. I know that, some of this information I'm giving you might feel wrong or might feel off or whatever, and that's fine. You can think of it any way you want to. But what I'm saying is that people deserve not to be judged, don't they? I mean, I don't know, but I think they do. People deserve not to be judged. And that is what matters, okay? So, try to remember who you are and who everybody else is, okay? And that's really all that matters, okay? As much as I would love for everyone to be awakened, which I would, and I'm sure everyone would enjoy that too, not everybody's ready for that. But if you try to see people as souls, that is going to make them more ready. Okay? And that's my opinion. Maybe it's not true. Maybe I'm totally off. It's possible. But just think about being judged. You have been judged, haven't you? Yeah, of course you have. Okay? Did you like it? Did it feel good to you? No, of course not. So don't do it to other people. That's all. You know. All right. Well, I guess that's all I have to say about other people. And you guys have a great life. And remember, I love you. Because we're one. We are one thing. We are part of God. And that's really all that matters. Everything else doesn't matter. How much money you have, what kind of car you have, where you brought up, none of that stuff really matters, okay? What really matters is your connection to God through your soul. Oh, I think I killed a bug. Anyway, try to remember who you are and try to remember that other people are the same as you. There's no differences here. None of that stuff is real. What is real is that everyone on earth is a soul. And it's not just everyone as in humans, but these trees. The plants, they all have souls too. We don't like to call them souls because then that would lessen our souls. Isn't that ridiculous? But that's the way we are. All right, well, I guess I'm talking on too long. I love you all. Take care.